Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we are here watching some jobless reincarnation. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. We got Kevin Calhoun for the Patreon on the episode Abrupt Approach saying, Empty Author says, you know what this story needs? Trauma-induced erectile dysfunction. Ah yeah, chef's kiss. Regarding, yeah, what other gesture do you want to go with there, Theta?
Chef's
I don't
kisses.
want
I don't know what this is like. Stop.
I don't know.
I know this is something.
I guess I just didn't want to get in the way of my microphone here.
How many was it, Griff? It was this many.
Yeah, 5 kisses. All right. Regarding Sarah's feelings for Rudy, we've seen from the last part of the previous episode and the majority of this episode, Sarah opening up to Rudy and talking to him more, smiling at him, etc. This episode specifically, she was looking at him a lot, laughing, blushing, etc. I think it's safe to say she did like him. She didn't decide to sleep with him just, quote, to fulfill an obligation, as she puts it. She was legit interested in him. It was her first time, and the guy she liked couldn't get it up for her. I can imagine she felt like she didn't find her attractive enough, so she said those things when she left the room to make it easier for herself to deal with. Unfortunately, it reinforces what Rudy believes. No one loves him. Everyone he gets close to will eventually leave him. As for Rudy's reaction after Sarah slapped him after the brothel night, taking the sword to his throat, I think that's a totally legit response, all things considered. What Ayers did to him really messed him up, and he blames himself for her leaving. After years, he finally let himself get close to another girl, only to find he can't get it up her. And then, instead of being understood, she hits him with, well, I don't really like you like that anyways. I was just doing this to repay you. And then, after the brothel scene, the brothel couldn't help him. He stupidly put his foot in his mouth, saying all that crap and not caring about Sarah and the shopping stuff and being silly kid stuff, which we know is a lie. We were there with Rudy when he was there enjoying his time with Sarah. Just like Sarah saying, I was just doing this to repay you, what Rudy says here is coping mechanism. He's trying to justify things in a way where he can not feel shitty about it. Unfortunately, Sarah overheard. Sarah slapping him and saying she never wants to see him again probably made him think of Eris leaving him, and her letter to him, we're not a good match, I'm leaving. Again, a woman he had feelings for rejected him and left him. So, Theta, what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, um, two things immediately. I don't remember the "we're not a good match" part from Eris's note, so that's just
I,
caught me off guard real quick. I guess the other thing also is I didn't recognize years had passed that Rudy had gotten to the north in a matter of years.
uh, no, I don't think that's what that sentence implies.
That's what said. It took from
That's
the
in
moment
reference
that
to Eris.
Eris dumped him, and it took him years to get up north.
He lets himself get close to someone after years. This is the time between Roxy and Eris. This is the time between him being in the normal world and Eris.
No, there was no problem with Roxy because Roxy just left for a bit and they stayed in touch. This is the
Uh,
time between Eris and Sarah.
right. The relationship is different. Like it's a 15-year gap between when he was in the real world and when he actually finally manages to get a close relationship with another person in this way.
Which,
That is the years that is being implied here, not the years to get up
well,
north.
for one, you didn't write this; they did, so it's your interpretation as well. And my interpretation is this is the years between Eris and Sarah.
He hasn't grown a single inch, Theta.
What does that matter? Some people are short kings. Are you shaming?
All right.
The dude's like 15 or 17. He might have just hit the end of his growth.
Uh, but on to like the more meat of the comment. Like, no, this is like some
I think
beautiful
that's
drama.
actually meat. Before you completely dismiss it, if there are years in between, that implies a breadth of time. That's why I focused on it as my second point.
Sure. But still, that aside for right now, the meat of it for me is, of course, Rudy is still dealing with like his the abandonment, of course, and just of course the idea that no one likes him still coming from the original world. 15 years on, At least I'm assuming 15 anyway. He's like between 10 and 15, right?
15 is when Eris chose to sleep with him. So that was that
Okay,
birthday. Remember the previous birthday from, I guess, when he was 10? I don't remember. Where she says
yeah,
5 more years or something like that. Because we know that they only celebrate birthdays in spans of
in
5.
fives. Yeah. But yeah, no, like, so it's been 15 years since Earth, and he still hasn't gotten over, like, this idea that he can't interact with other people, and having any negative consequences in that frame of mind is gonna do this to him, right? It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think no one likes me. Someone says that they didn't like me, or like they go away, or like they forget about me for a bit. Well, must mean I'm just unlikable. He's building it all up himself, and this is just like continuing that. But Soul, like of all people, like has been the hero here, right?
Well, I
He's
said
been
last
trying.
episode he's literally a surrogate father figure. He's
Yeah,
Paul
exactly.
with a different wrapping.
He's trying his best to help Rudeus. He's giving him advice. He's literally stopping him from plunging daggers into his chest. Like he's doing everything he can to keep Rudeus like positive here, and I think I think it's working a little bit. I think I have good feelings going to the future with these two like going off in the distance.
And then Soul
Uh
dies this episode.
just to go ahead and just stab Rudeus a little bit deeper in the heart. Sure, why not? Our next comment
Well,
is
hold on.
from
I
Hem.
have a Theta's
Sure,
thought that probably fits well with this paragraph. I was waiting because
go for it.
you cut me off a bit there, and I was like, well, I'll just
Sorry,
let
sorry.
Griff get his thoughts out because I'm constantly always trying to talk myself. The opening of last episode makes it so sad on a rewatch, knowing how it all ends. Sarah and Rudeus are on their date, shopping and whatnot. The song is going on about starting over, thought I could change, nothing lasts forever. And then they buy a pair of matching daggers, one for each of them. So when she tosses the dagger at him at the end, it isn't just a gift he bought her, it's the connection they shared in physical form, plus all his thoughts about moving on.
Yeah, yeah, no, that is the best physical representation of all of his emotion just crashing to the ground right there, isn't it? The good catch.
Well, that's why it's so important that that's the thing he tries to stab himself with,
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
tie that they try to bind themselves together with.
Our relationship killed me. Ah.
Well, I get sorry. There was a third thing I want to mention in a comment, but we got so focused on the year thing, I didn't actually get to it.
Oh, okay.
Um, the double-handed fact that she tried to say something to herself when she was leaving the room, which was insulting to Rudius, but to
Mhm.
carry herself forward, that then she cannot handle the same thing being done to her.
Right, she's also a young person trying to figure out how they feel about things, and we're also incredibly disappointed.
Well, no, I mean, like, she says it when she's leaving the room. What if
Mhm.
Rudius had acted to her the same way that he gets acted to?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. I don't think I got an additional comment there. I think you're just on point.
You know,
Our
actually,
next.
I hate being on point. I always want back and forth. I've got to be more wrong.
Just me here going, it's like, they know you're right. And you just see things like, no, that's great.
I am
Our
the
next.
opposite of the villain. I'm the opposite of that villain that has to, you have to know was right the whole time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if you say I was too dumb to get the operation done and try to let me go, no, let me tell you exactly how I did this. You've got to know how smart I am.
There we go. All right, our next comment though is from Hamza Stites from the episode Misconnection, saying Rudius's character development is much closer to dog training. He does something, he gets punished, he never does that thing ever again. Easy examples: Eris is asleep, he gropes her, she beats the shit out of him, and he never did it again. Of course, he's not going to magically not be a pervert and not think about pervert shit. That's not how humans change. TP's heiress and Rudeus's potential sex scene. She gives him signs of consent. He takes it too far. She beats the shit out of him, and as you see in the last episode, I can see you already finished season 1, she had to jump on top of him because he initially said no. Other pervert shit, he still does because she is not punishing him for it.
Yeah, hold on a sec. Yeah, can you give me the PETA? I think we got a guy who beats the shit out of his dogs for training them.
There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and let animal control go ahead and handle that one there. But on to the nature of the comment, Theta. What do you think?
So that's the first thing that jumps out of it. You're likening it to dog training, and then say the dog training part is beating the shit out of them. It's like, that's not how you train dogs, for one thing. I believe that's called animal cruelty.
Right. The technical term is positive reinforcement, which is that something immediately happens when you do an action, which according to the name, doesn't mean that you can't have a negative thing happen, i.e. him getting the shit beat out of him. Negative reinforcement is you don't react to the thing happening. So yeah, no, he's getting positive reinforcement to do the right thing, to stop doing the creepy stuff. But whatever people do in their own minds is their own minds. No one's going to be able to stop that, unfortunately.
Oh, it's a magical fantasy world.
He's a third.
Psionics or mind reading magic might show up at some point.
He's a shut-in who grew up entirely on video games as his idea for what a relationship should be. He's not going to change that, like, basically ever. uh, but there we go. So let's go ahead and go over to our recap real quick. Last time was Abrupt Approach, where things seem to be looking up for Rudeus, and when Sarah asks him out on a date, he decides to forget his heartbreak and start a new romance, but putting the past behind him may be easier said than done. I love the way the recap, like, almost makes me feel like it's a sitcom kind of recap, where it's just like, and then a funny situation occurs, and not like Rudeus tries to off himself because he's depressed.
Well, because it doesn't read like a recap. It reads like we're about to watch that episode and find out what happens.
Right, right. It's
The
it's
back of
the
the
episode
box.
forward you find in the TV
What's
guide.
the back of the box description? If we were like
Yeah, yeah.
watching this like 4 episodes of Mushoku Tensei on a VHS cassette.
Mhm. But yeah, no, we've been over a little bit of what happened last time, thanks to some of our comments here. Rudeus gets into a relationship, can't get it
Up.
done, gets drunk, still can't get it done, then tries to off himself after saying a whole bunch of terrible stuff. So, with that framing in mind, Theta, you got a whole bunch of thoughts, so why don't we go over those?
No, I had the one and I reread it.
Oh, you just had the one? Okay, then. Well,
I don't tend to have a lot of follow-up thoughts on this stuff. It tends to only be the
right.
episodes where like crossovers happen, like discovering that Fitz was
Mhm.
like in a early episode of not an early, say an early episode of Core 2 of season 1, where we watch
Yeah,
what's his name, Saros, get his head cut off.
yeah.
Um, Stuff like that, or implications of things. This was a relationship episode. Unless you
Mhm.
want me to go like read something on erectile dysfunction and what Rudeus could have done in a fantasy world, right? Like he obviously drinking
Just
doesn't
go ahead
help.
and copy paste the wiki
Drinking is
article
only
and
going
just
to
run.
aid in erectile dysfunction, as it turns out. I think studies
Yeah.
have shown.
But yeah, no, like you said, it was a relationship episode. It was about the emotional drama. We were there for it. We were in for it. And it wasn't a great time for Roots, but it was a great time for us.
'Cause, I mean, otherwise, if I was going to bring up the board, and I'm not,
Mhm.
the board only has the color change. It's literally of Sorrows, Soul,
Sarah.
no, Soul from red to green, and Sarah from green to white.
Right,
I'm not
right.
willing to
The
change her
changes
to
of the
a
time.
red yet. She's a unknown at this point. We don't even know if we're
I
going to see her again.
I don't think she would go and start stabbing Rudy as she is broken off connections is the thing. Yeah, she is loved scorned at the moment. That is
Well, to be the most pedantic
go
with you, Griff,
places.
one, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Two,
Oh,
she
Lord.
literally did throw a weapon at him.
That's how it always starts.
Well,
But yeah.
it's like the court recitation of events,
Mhm.
right? Without context, a joke can sound horrible. Without context, if I just say, "and then she threw a sword at me," it might not imply the same thing as what actually happened in reality.
Yeah. But I think last time you were saying your guess is that we're going to go ahead and meet up with Fitz again and get like that perspective. We are moving on to new realms and we still got to get to school, right?
For
This is about the
clarification's
time
sake,
for
I
it.
don't remember saying that.
Okay, well, I think I remember you saying that we're going forward in the universe. We have characters planted. We're in theoretically the same region. We got stuff that can happen, and I want to see it
The
happen.
last time we saw Fitz and the princess and everybody, I think they were walking across a snowy mountain, and we know that they are in a
Uh-huh.
mountain. Not a mountain. We know that. Sorry, what was the wrong description part? We know that they're in a snowy
Yeah, yeah.
region. So one assumes that if this is Tatooine and Tatooine is just a giant desert, that anybody else showing up in a desert has a good chance of being on Tatooine.
Oh yeah, every planet has one biome. That's right. Yeah.
Actually, technically, Tatooine for your Star Wars purists out there, it's actually pretty much a moderate temperature planet. It's for some reason we just see it as a desert. That's
It just
why.
doesn't have a lot of water on it.
Actually,
That's
that's why
fine.
it's very humid. It's actually quite humid. Apparently, there's lots of grass and shit all over Tatooine. I guess that's
We
the
just
way.
never go
I
to
guess that's the way they counter it. Like novelizations and books and shit, they make the rest of Tatooine just like this. I don't know, like moderate grassy
Savannah.
field savanna type. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we just happen in the movies to only see the desert.
But now there's an entire classification of desert planets in Star Wars, and we're going to go ahead and watch this episode today. So, I say let's go ahead and watch it, but before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's also for the channel, just a little bit extra.
Put that link down below. Join the Discord. Let me know what your favorite planet in Star Wars is. That looks like steam. So I expect a... Nope, okay.
I can spot the rudeus at the front there.
I was expecting a hot spring scenario, since I thought we was looking at steam. Okay, Toph.
Hey, Earth platform makes way more sense than launching yourself up in the air and breaking your legs, right?
石油か2時の方向にラスターグリズリー群れでいますすごい雪ぼこりです何匹だ8いや10匹はいますねこっちに気づいてますよ
Literally, you've taken out this many with one fireball before.
Of course.
3回しろ泥沼降りてこい援護を頼む了解泥沼はい今だかかれ
No, now they're just wet bears.
It's odd, but his crew looks like a bunch of bandits more than the adventurers.
What perspective is that? Something flying through the air. I guess that's the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense. Would be only the second time we've seen dragons.
来てるぞグリズリーは奴らから逃げて
Oh, death.
Good guy. I meant goodbye. Nameless guy.
おい泥沼どういうことだサボってたんじゃねえだろうな雪ぼこりで見えなかったんです
Oh, that's two more people who are probably dead.
撤退だ撤退煙幕をかけますバラバラに逃げてください
Cool, but it doesn't look like the red dragon's over there. It'd be great if this ended with him getting a red dragon pet.
Oh gosh. oh gosh, he's aged up.
Has he?
Yeah, no, that face was
He just looked more focused, not aged up.
Maybe we'll get a better shot in a sec. Okay, no, you're right.
I don't think he's getting a pet.
Well, you know, we haven't covered necromancy in the show yet.
I was thinking how cool it would be if he started riding a red dragon as a mount.
Yeah, 泥沼お前本当に強いよな。
伊達に魔大陸を旅してきてねえな。強い強いとは思ってたけど、ここまでとはな。
相手も死にかけでしたからね。
Yeah, they used to call me Mad Dog. No, wait. That's keep calling Eris. Eris, yeah, Eris was Mad Dog.
Oh gosh, Candlemaster is even funnier in comparison to the comic, like he's getting trained like a dog.
しばらくしたらまた次の国に行きます。母親を探さなきゃならないんで。今日も一日ありがとうございました。
I guess syncope isn't the thing that exists here.
What's that?
You played Iron Claw, you know what syncope is.
Oh, okay, I now know what you mean. Sympathetic connections to things.
Via which magical connections can be made.
Yeah, we're not using that kind of, like, magical logic here.
The blush on his face, it's like making you jerk off to your own arms. That'd be hard to do, because you gotta use those arms for it.
He's just thinking he's awesome. Bard's literally singing about him.
ひどいなおい。歌の主人公本人がいるというのに。
Found you.
ようやく見つけました。
Hey.
泥沼のルーデウス。
泥沼いるじゃねえか。
Although he's never seen her before, so.
使ってしまいましたか。
と適当に返したが見覚えがない。
聞いていた通り、目立つからすぐ見つかりましたわ。
今さっきようやくって言ってませんでしたか。
もっと東にいると思っていたんですの。
なんだ？一目惚れでもされたのか？それでも最近結構たくましくなって。
Yeah, but I mean.
体に水前かな？成長期でもあるし、筋肉がついてきたのだよ。筋肉が。
You went to the red light district. Is she gonna be?
いえいえ、なんでもありませんわ。
Look, these two characters being in the same room is already a cause for a disaster. They are, in fact, of the same mind.
私の名前はエリナリーゼ。エリナリーゼドラゴンロード。あなたの父、パウロの元パーティーメンバーですわ。
ほう。
そして、ロキシーの友人ですの。
師匠のですか。師匠は今どこに。
それより、聞きましたわよ。はぐれ竜をほぼ。
We'll say her eyes are also looking the same way his were when he took down the dragon.
まあ相手も死にかけてましたがね。
Foreshadowing?
ロキシーが自慢するのもわかりますわね。
師匠に自慢されるって聞くとなんだかくすぐったい。何触ってるんですか。
胸板ですわ。たくましいですわね。
さっきから何なんですか。もしかして僕のことが好きなんですか。
Rudy is just being like, help, I need an adult.
想像以上にびっくりしましたわ。もっと子供だと思っていたんですけれど。
We really need an adult in the
Yeah,
room.
the whole I need an adult. I am an adult.
俺はからかわれて当てるような DT ではないのだ。
Also, I can't get it up. So that's also.
マジで？なんか雰囲気出てるんだけど。え？いいの？ズキューンってやっちゃっていいの？
あら？
I keep expecting her to go for his Wallace.
可愛らしいですわね。どなたにいただいたの？
幼馴染ですよ。
幼馴染？エルフの。
Everyone's paying attention now.
そうですけど、なんでそんなこと聞くんですの？
Gosh, I love the guy up against the wall.
いえ、大したことではないですけれど、ちょっと失礼。
trying to remember who gave that to him.
お揃いですわね。
そうですね。
あら、
Yeah.
偉いわ、
Who
私
was
ったら。
that?
あんまりからかわないでくださいよ。
私、男をからかったりなんかしませんわ。で
Now she live just gives it
パウロの
away.
娘になるつもりはありませんし、ロキシーの友達でもあり続けたいんですの。
で、エリナリーゼさんは僕に何かご用ですか？
ええ、あなたに朗報を届けに参りましたわ。
Roxy knows where your mom is. God, who did give that to him?
あの日ゼニスの居場所が判明した。
I really feel like Ray should know who gave that to
付
him.
近にある迷宮都市ラパンという
It's
ところに
just not
いるら
coming
し
to
い。
mind.
ここから徒歩での移動となると1年以上かかってしまうかもしれない。その上もうすぐ冬が来る。そのため今しばらくはこの国に滞在することにした。エリナリーゼによるとゼニスはのんきに迷宮探索をしているらしい
Wasn't
し
Roxy's family, was it?
それに
あなたが急ぐ必要はありませんわ。私たちがパウロの家
But
族の
Roshi's
捜
not an
索を
elf.
していたところ、ロキシーと出会ってパーティーを組みましたの。
I can't think of any other elves
今
but
頃はパウ
her.
ロたちと合流してベガリット大陸についている頃ですわ。
Yeah, she's our only elf
師匠
representation
も
right
捜
now.
索に協力してくれていたのです
But he met an elf and he gave it to her. Gave it to him, and we saw that given to him at some
まずは
point.
安心だ。
God, this is killing me.
Time to go rewatch an entire season, Theta.
No, I brought up the board real quick, looked at the board, and recognized I don't think any of these people gave it to him.
おかえりなさい。
ただいまエリナリーゼさん。今日も朝からお盛んですね。
お魚何のことかしらわかりません。
寒いんだから風邪ひかないようにしてくださいよ。
エリナリーゼが大変なビッチであることはこの1週間でよく分かった。何せ気がつけば男を部屋に連れ込んでいる。それもほぼ毎日。
Which is the weirdest thing, I think. Because it implies everybody is her type. Or rather, she's everybody's type.
犯罪のような女である。
Which you'd think some people would not be into her.
むしろ
We gotta be learning about it today. This has gotta be some kind of complex.
そうはいかない。ここ2年ほど俺はある病気を患っている。心と体の病だ。はっきり言おう。ED だ。もう諦めた。
Yeah, we know.
今はもう誰かとどうにかな
We spent the whole episode on it.
好きな相手はいない。裏切られるぐらいなら最初から見て触ってめでるだけでいい。それ以上のことは望まなくていい。
But I guess if anybody could help you with that, be her.
The sluttiest elf on the planet. Oh, hey, Soul.
違うんだ、泥沼。お前の女に手を出すつもりはなかったんだ。
Not my woman.
いや違うんですそれ。エリナリーゼさんは僕の女じゃありません。だいたいあんた僕が立たないって知ってるじゃないですか。
そうだったな。すまん。心の傷をえぐるようなことを言っちまった。
いいんですよ。ところで。
Imagine being so carefree that you could say that to anybody.
ですってエリナリーゼさん、よかったですね。
当然ですわ。私とした男はみんな幸せになりますのよ。
あ、そうっすか。
俺は知っている。ゾルのパーティーメンバーの男、他数名はすでにエリナリーゼに食われてしまってい
Geez,
る。
she's had a whole month to work through them.
何ですの？
好き勝手食い散らかすのはいいですけど、後始末は自分でしてくださいよ。
もちろんですわ。
おいおい、何の話だ？
何でもありませんわ。
But I come from the modern world where we know about VD.
ひどい女だ。でも彼女はロキシーと共にマ大陸を縦断し、中央大陸まで渡り、パウロの家族を探してくれた。ロキシーと共に。ありがたい話だ。くそ、全然羨ましくなってないんだからね。エリナ・リーゼはこの逆ハーレム状態でどうやってトラブルを回避するのだろうか。 俺に矛先が来ないようにしてくれればいいんだが。
じゃあこれ約束のお金ですわ。
いやすまないな。あんな気持ちいいことしてもらって金まで。
What?
They're distancing herself from everybody. That's what.
になっちゃいけませんわよ。
なるほどな。逆売春だったわけだ。それなら問題にならないか。
No, it's just like that.
She's got a complex here. All right,
No,
There's a
I'm
reasoning
thinking of
behind this.
Game of Thrones, where that one cousin, he's a virgin, so they give him a bunch of money to go sleep with a prostitute, and the prostitutes give him the money back.
おう、どうも。
ルーデウス・グレイラット様、はじめまして。ラノア魔法大学で教頭をしておりますジーナスと申します。
Hey,
ラノア
schooler.
魔法大学。ロキシーの母校じゃないか。
Of course, the person in charge would be called
ルーデウス
Genus.
様の雷鳴、泥沼のルーデウスはラノア王国にも響き渡っています。調べてみると、なんと水王級魔術師ロキシーの弟子というではありませんか。
その素晴らしい技術をさらに磨くおつもりはありませんか？ラノア魔法大学はあなたを特別生として招く用意があります。
Do you go to university or do you save your mom? What do you do?
Well, I'm confused. Why have they stayed here a month instead of going to rescue his
Because it's the
mom?
middle of winter and he doesn't want to start marching on foot in the middle of winter.
Like he's done already.
He's been out adventuring a little bit.
He came here in the middle of winter. He's been adventuring in the middle of winter. You'd figure nothing would stop him from rescuing his mom.
Yeah, no, his profile is changing.
See, he just had 2 years. I think I'm right about the year thing, Griff.
お待たせいたしました。
ああ、特別生な。いたいた。
コンラートさんはラノア魔法大学出身だと伺いまして、詳しく話を聞ければなと。
まあ出身って言っても5年で退学したけどな。魔法大学はな、お前みたいな変な魔術使うやつとかすげえ魔力持ってるやつに率先して声かけてんだよ。そいつが将来名を上げると大学の宣伝にもなるだろ
う。何にせよ、無栄称魔術の情報から俺を勧誘したというのなら、まるっきり詐欺というわけではなさそうだ。
Also, apparently not that totally uncommon, since we heard about that before.
Yeah, I mean, all this like sounds straight up, pretty on the level so far.
名前の通り、アスラの上級貴族の傍流ですよ。
すまん、お前下の名前なんだっけか？
グレイラットです。ルーデウス・グレイラット。
え？グレイラットってアスラの地方領主だっけか？なんでこんなところでソロの冒険者なんかやってるんだ？
そりゃあれ、
ああ、すまん。まあせっかく優遇してくれるって言うんだから。
All the trauma comes back.
そういえば、エリスのところに家庭教師に行ったのも魔法大学への入学金を貯める必要があったからだ。シルフィーと一緒に学校に行くというのが最初の目標だったっけか。
Yeah, you're in. You just got a bunch of distractions now.
Okay, the amulet was from Sylphie. There we go. That's how long it's been. That was like in episode 3.
Sylphie's not an elf, though.
She's not, no.
She's a demon. Just without the gem.
どうせアスラまで戻ってくるんですのよ。その時にちょっと旅に出て顔を合わせればいいじゃありませんの。
っていうか、エリナリーゼさんが父様に会いたくないだけでしょ。
そうですわよ。
よほどパウロのことが嫌いらしい。自分の能力を上げるのは大事だが、今はそれを最優先にはできない。
Why she hate Paul?
今回は魔
We
法
ever
大
cover
学
that?
への入学は見送らせてもらおう。
I don't think there's been a specific reason, but we have plenty of evidence on the table.
I mean, not really. It just seems to be that everybody that's been at a party with Paul dislikes Paul at the end.
Yeah.
Except his wife. His wife was at the party with him.
この夢も久しぶりだが、昔のような嫌な感じがしないな。
君が順応してきたんじゃないかい？
But you're still old you.
だろうな。そんなことより、ゼニスを探してる最中、何度か呼びかけたんだぜ。 一度くらい現れてくれてもよかったんじゃねえのか。
僕にもいろいろあるのさ。
そうかよ。ま、結果的に見つかったからいいけどな。2年丸々損した気分だ。
よかったね、お母さんが見つかって。
ああ、まさかロキシーが探してくれてたとは思わなかったよ。
彼女は働き
This
者
is
だか
definitely
ら
the
ね。
friendliest they've been in a conversation, though.
彼女もベガリット大陸に向かうみたいだし、早く会いたいね。
いいのかい、自慢の師匠に今の情けない君の姿を見せても。
え？
だってそうじゃないか。
was gonna be the don't go there, go to school instead talk.
Here we go. Ruining the rapport.
Oh, the erectile dysfunction talk with God.
数年前とほとんど変わらない。現実だって毎日素振りするだけで別に強くなったわけじゃない。体だけはたくましくなったけど、自信持って言えるのかい、あなたの弟子は立派に成長しましたって。
言いたい放題言ってくれるじゃないか。つまり何が言いたいんだ。
今こそ自分を鍛えるべきじゃないか。魔法大学に行けば雑多な冒険者とは比べ物にならないくらいいろんなことを学べるはずさ。
なんだそりゃ、どこの塾講師だ。あ、ずいぶんさらっと言ったが、それはあれか、いつもの助言なのか。
うん、まあそんな感じかな。
相変わらず遠回しでうさんくさいやつだな、お前は。
Human God really just having such a good time with this body language.
Not really. It's nice that he constantly has to pee.
必ず後悔することになるからね。
後悔？なんでだ。
それは言えない。
ああ、そう。ま、お前が必要なことを隠匿するのは今に始まったことじゃないしな。けどそれじゃ理由として弱いってのはお前も自分で言っててわかるだろ。一応家族が全員見つかったか
I
ら。
figured it must probably carry some weight that God is telling it to you, though.
だから本当の助言はこれからだ。
よし、聞きましょ
ルーデウスよ、ラノア魔法大学に入学しなさい。そこでフィットア寮の転移事件について調べなさい。さすれば君は男子としての能力と自信を取り戻すことができるでしょう。でしょ
う。マジで？
でしょ
俺のエレクテルディスファンクションは魔法大学で治るんですか？
でしょ
人神様！
Manly pride.
Well, I know you're making more fun of his mannerisms there. I'm just taken off by the fact that God is making fun of your erectile dysfunction. You
I'm
practice
having
sword
fun
swings
because
every
Human God's
day, but you're
having
making
fun.
no progress.
More importantly, how did this happen?
She probably doesn't care when she goes to sleep.
そっか、これが治るのか。
I mean, for her, every bed's a bed.
Yeah.
今まで世話になりました。
頑張れよ。
元気でな。
Come on, soul.
今までお世話になりました。
ああ、
なんか世話になるだけなって何も返せてないのですが。
彼はこの数年間、なんだかんだ言いつつもずっと俺に気を使ってくれた。
むしろ利用して稼がせてもらったんだ。ありがとうよ。でもまあ、
Put it on the asshole smile to evade his feelings, love it.
I mean, maybe this was Paul. Maybe this is what Paul used to be like.
何にせよ、そのうち俺らもそっちに用事ができることもあるだろう。その時はまた二人で飲んで召喚にでも行こうや。
そして俺はラノア王国へと旅立った。
A new spring has sprung. A new rudeus is rising.
So the scene where Fitz was suggesting Rudeus must have happened during those 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess it just taken that long for the mail to finally get to him somehow. Yeah, sending mail to itinerant adventurers seems like the worst, honestly. Man, Hogwarts is looking great. Except that room.
Well, no, that's the prince that saved him before.
Yeah,
There's
it
the
is.
princess, and that guy whose name I forgot, and Fitz,
Yeah.
her bodyguard from back when.
All right. If there's one thing I think Rudy's is going to be really good at,
And
it's
demons that
obviously
look
going to
like
be.
fucking demons.
Oh hell yeah! Happy Akuma, let's go.
Okay, now Dragonheart, you know you're not allowed within 500 meters of the school.
Not a shot she is.
Yeah, future side eye. In case you had any doubts.
Yeah, in case there were any doubts. We're going to school, we're doing it. If there's one thing I think Rudeus is going to be good at, it's just going to be sitting down and studying in a school setting, and then probably getting bullied. It's two main skills, you know?
Well, I don't know if he has any skills at getting bullied. However,
actually,
this is where I think being open and honest about his erectile dysfunction is going to bite him in the ass.
10,000%. Tell them that to all of your teenage peers. Yeah, no, that's not gonna go great.
Well, because he's been told going to the school is going to help you with your erectile dysfunction, so assumedly he's going to say something to somebody to try and figure
Yeah.
out. I hear there's a cure for ED around here.
But let's see. So here's a twist like idea here, right? So he's been building up his muscle. He's a strong kid. We have a bunch of people who are probably rich kids who've never actually worked out, who are going to a place to study in book form. He can beat every single one of them in a fist fight. He becomes the bully.
We're not that kind of show.
We're gonna get the twist though. We're gonna mirror here. Come on, we love our mirrors, right?
But we're not that kind of show, though.
Oh gosh.
This is the work for it isekai, not the show up in another, not the Prince of Demon King Academy or whatever the hell it's called.
There you go. There you go. But I feel like 100% we are going to be getting more flashbacks to his high school and his time there, and putting that against his time here in Renoa's University, right? 100% no shot that they don't do it.
I mean, I would assume so.
Mm-hmm. Of course, does that mean our elf friend is going to stick around that whole time? Like you said, she's got a restraining order. I have a feeling banging every kid in school is not going to be what anyone wants.
I mean, she might get left at the door, right? You gotta pay your admissions. I don't have any money. All right, well, talk to my friend.
Yeah, that'll be extra funny, especially in the context that she keeps paying everybody. Additionally, Roxy will now know exactly where Rudeus is, and 100% is going to show up. So that means we're going to have.
Well, I doubt it. Roxy's looking for Zenith, remember? I don't know why Roxy would show up here. She already went to school. So
I just feel like it's a possibility is all. That's on my mind here. I felt like the door's open for it, but you are right. If we have Roxy and Zenith in the same place, Zenith's not in a good position and Roxy's trying to find her, then Rudy's has to set out to go and find them. He's not going to just bumble into them. Do you have anything else that like stuck out to you here? What's on your mind this episode? I'm having hiccups now.
well, you do laugh at everything, so it's more surprising you don't have them more often.
But nothing on your brain?
Well, maybe I'll have a Theta's thoughts next time. It's not really a lot to break down here. It's just a lot of, maybe the situational stuff about his past vis-a-vis other people finding out he's a greyrat, which he wasn't supposed to tell people, if you remember what the dead people told him. But,
right.
I guess the fact that also nobody from Counter Arrow saw him off either. So I guess all ties were cut once Sarah got upset.
Yeah, they just parted ways, it seems, entirely. Unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. I feel like you're probably going to have an entire segment on Theta thoughts and what's up with the elf next time. Like, maybe you'll go ahead and find some evidence. So I'm going to go ahead and save that for next time. Because we could be here forever just speculating on what the hell is up with her now. So, I think on that note, let's go ahead and wrap up for the day. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?